Hi honeybees! Today I'm going to be talking about products I want to use up in 2018. I've done these videos in the past and they've gotten really great feedback. You guys really usually love these because it's all about shopping your stash, using up what you have, and trying to be a little bit more selective when it comes to purchasing new products. Now, as a beauty influencer, as a YouTuber, I do get sent quite a bit of PR sampling, so a lot of the products that I end up accumulating aren't always what I purchase, but I do also purchase during the VIB sales and the Ulta 20% off sales and all of that. But I'm really gonna try to zero in this year on things that I really feel are unique and, want to try for you guys. But I have a lot of products sitting in front of me that I want to share that I want to use up this year. If you want to see past videos that I've done, I will leave them linked down below. I'll usually do an update mid-year, about June, July, and then at the end of the year I will do a whole, this is what I used up the whole year in makeup. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. First I want to talk about primers. I've got two eye primers I want to use up. First is the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Now this is starting to dry out on me around the edges, but the center of the paint pot is still really nice where I can use this. I've used quite a bit, probably about, I'd say a fourth of the product. So I can see myself using this probably the entire rest of the year with the product that is still good and usable. And the reason I love this primer is because it really does give you a really nice blank canvas for the eye, for your eye makeup to set on, and it's just wonderful. This is completely, I would say, 2/3 of the way done right now. It's the Lorac behind the scenes eye primer. I've gone through a few of these because they used to come in the eyeshadow palettes, and this is, hopefully it's still good. Yeah, it still looks like it's good. I've been kind of bad on using eye primers lately. I've been using concealer just for like a fast go-to for eye primer. So I definitely want to start using those again because I do have a few in my collection. Next I have two primers. Now this one, it's on its way out. It's inevitable. It's going to be used up. The Bye Bye Pores Primer from IT Cosmetics. Absolutely love this. It's amazing. It does help to control oil. It fills in pores and it just feels really nice on the skin and I love it. So that will be used up very, very soon here. So the next one I'm going to be reaching for is the Peter Thomas Roth Max Anti-Shine Mattifying Gel. And this is like, it's skincare, but I also use it as a primer because it really fills in pores and gives me a really nice base. And I do also want to add one other primer to this list. I didn't pick out a specific one, so I just want to use 3 primers at least up this year. Next I have foundations. So I have 4 foundations that I will be using currently. Now, as I use foundations up, I will add one into the mix. But right now, I'd like to use up the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Cushion Stick Radiant Makeup. I'm in 1 and 2. It's kind of hard to see how much product is left in something like this. It's a twist-up application. And I really love the wear of this. I think it looks beautiful on the skin, so I'm going to use that one up this year. Next, I have a stick foundation from Hourglass. And this is in Porcelain. It's the Vanish Stick. Foundation is so amazing. The coverage is there. It just makes my skin look so beautiful. It's not completely matte. It's definitely more of like a satin, but I love this. So I should have no issue trying to use that up. Next, we have the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue in Opal 1. I like to mix this with another fuller cover foundation. So for example, use this as a base and use like my stick foundations like this as a little bit extra coverage in the areas I need it, or concealer. So this does have SPF 30. I've had it for over a year. Might be 2 years. The SPF might have been expired by this point, but we'll see if it reacts with my skin or anything. I'll just go ahead and toss it, but I am going to try to use that up. And then this is one of my favorites from last year, and as you can see, I've already been using it quite a bit. It should be very easy to use up this year. It's the Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation from Too Faced, and it's infused with peach and sweet fig cream. I'm in the shade Snow. It has a pump, which is awesome, but I do cut open my liquid products like this, like at the middle, and then put it in like a plastic bag to make sure it stays fresh and okay, or put it like deep pot it into a like little pot. So I will use every little drop of that. It's such good coverage and it looks beautiful. Okay, I have a few powders because I go through powders fairly quickly. Like I feel like I make a good dent in them pretty quickly. So I have the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Foundation Powder. I just spoke about this in my favorites. I know I'll use it up because it's a favorite of mine. It has a very significant dip in there right now. And I use this on my nose predominantly for coverage, but I love it. It's beautiful and it will definitely get used up this year. I also have one in my purse that I forgot to pull out from Pure Cosmetics. I already hit pan on it. It's one that stays in my purse until it runs out, so I'm sure I'll use that up this year as well. Then I have a Hello Flawless foundation powder from Benefit in Champagne. Now this is a little too dark for me right now, but when I self-tan or in the summer, I'll be able to use this, and I already know I love, love, love this powder. It's so beautiful, so I'll be using that up this year. This is kind of a recent favorite of mine, the CC Airbrush Perfecting Powder from IT Cosmetics. I'm in the shade Fair. What a shock. And it is such a beautiful full coverage powder, especially if you use a sponge applicator. I can just use concealer in this and be set on my natural days or on days that I just don't feel like putting on a full face. So I don't see it being hard to use that up. Now this powder has been in my collection for quite a long time. And if I don't use this up this year, it's probably just gonna have to go bye-bye in the garbage, unfortunately. It's a very inexpensive powder. It's from e.l.f. Cosmetics. Complexion Perfection. I've had this way too long in my collection of powders now. I did hit pan right in the center there, and I was using this to set like my under eye, set my foundation. I don't love it, but I definitely think it's nice because it's kind of color correcting. So I am going to at least try and make a dent in some of the colors. I probably am not going to be using up all of these shades because I do not really appreciate the green and blue tones. So yeah, we'll see if I'm able to make a dent in that this year. And last powder I would like to use up this year is from Jane Iredale. This is the Pure and Simple Makeup Kit. I received this I think a year ago, and I really got into the two complexion powders on the top here. And that's all that I plan to use up in this kit. The eyeshadows are just alright to me. They're nothing special. And the blush, again, is just alright. I have used it in like my crease and enjoyed it. So really my goal is to use up the two powders in this kit. Concealers. And like I said earlier in the video, I definitely want to make a dent in my concealer collection because just like foundations, they do tend to go bad over time. The first one is this Sonia Kashuk concealer palette it's called Hidden Agenda number 7. This used to be talked about so much on YouTube. So I definitely only plan on using up this one shade in the corner here. That's why I don't really appreciate concealer palettes for personal use. Love them for working on clients because you have a wide range of colors. But for me, I just need one of the shades. I don't like the powder that's in this. This is way too olive toned and this one's way too dark for me. So I'll just be using up this one in the corner, and I've already hit pan, so I'm sure. I really only use this for if I have a blemish or for concealing on the face, not under the eye. I don't appreciate it for under the eye. However, for under the eye, I have quite a few I would like to use up this year. First, the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Vanilla. This is amazing. It was in my yearly favorites, like my year-end favorites. I made a really good dent in it. I use it under my eyes on more natural days when I don't want the whole highlighted look, or I'll use it on blemishes. I mean, knock on wood, I don't have a lot of that going on right now, but this is something that's nice to have in your collection for that. I also have my Shape Tape Concealer from Tarte in Fair. I've already taken out the stopper in my concealer so I can scrape every little bit out. So I still have a significant amount, and you really don't need very much of this to conceal because it's so high coverage. Everyone raves about this concealer, and don't get me wrong, I really do love how full coverage it is and how it looks. I have it on right now. But it does tend to crease a little bit and can make you look older than you are if you're not careful. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that for everyone. I don't know if I'll repurchase that. For drugstore, I have two concealers that are holy grail to me for drugstore. First I have the Maybelline Dream Lumi Touch Pen, and this is in Ivory. If you've been watching me for a long time, when I first started YouTube and this first launched, I went through so many of these. I absolutely love it for under eye because it does have a luminosity, but it doesn't have very much coverage. So that's probably, I'll have to combine this with something else now that I need more under eye help. And then I have the Instant Age Rewind Maybelline Concealer. I took the little puffy part off of the top there. It usually comes with a little thing there. And this is just the brightener shade. As you can see, it's very pink, but I do sometimes use it just alone. And then I have the Naked Skin Urban Decay Concealer. This is in light neutral. So most likely I'll have to use this in the summer because it's a bit, it's like too dark for me now because I like to be a little bit lighter under my eyes, but I do enjoy this concealer. So for face products other than foundation and powders, I have two bronzers now. This one was in my use up. Was it last year? I don't know. I don't think I filmed a use up last year because of, you know, recovering. So this one was in like the year prior, but I have obviously made a very good dent in this bronzer. You can clearly see the pan everywhere. This is a MAC bronzer. It's from a limited edition line. That's why it's in this pretty packaging. And it's the Studio Sculpt Defining Bronzing Powder in Delicates. Now this is like my glowy bronze kind of powder that I like to use. But then I also always have a contouring powder on hand as well. So I definitely will use this up probably in the next few months, but it is the bronzer that just keeps on going and going and going. Like, I can't believe it. It's pretty incredible. Okay, the other one I'm currently been using for the last few months and I love it. It's from Merle Norman and it's their Highlight and Sculpt Contour and Highlight Duo. And it's amazing. I guess this is another powder I'll for sure end up using up this year as well. I've made a good dent in it already. I use this to sculpt out underneath my contour and blush, and then I'll blend it out with a fluffy powder brush. And then this is the contour powder I've been using. It's really nice, cool tone. I do have it on today. I also have this on too. But yeah, it's amazing. I'll for sure continue to get great use out of it. This blush, oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure I had it in a use up as well. It's a very baked, domed product though, so you will use this for maybe 3 years and not finish it, but I'm still going strong and trying to use it. This was a limited edition product, so unfortunately you are not able to grab it anymore. It's a Sephora and Pantone Universe blush in Apricot Brandy. And it's just a me color. It's so glowy and coral and beautiful. It's especially beautiful in the summer, so I'll just keep on using that. This Laura Geller blush, I used almost every single day, okay? And yes, it used to be like much more rounded. You can tell I've used it. But seriously, another one that just keeps on going and going and going. It is the Baked Blush in Bora Bora from Laura Geller. And it's such a beautiful peachy, I have it on today, like glowy peachy blush and just has me written all over it. I have one other powder that's definitely on its last leg. I don't know if you can see that there's just some powder at the very bottom here. This is the Bare Minerals Face Color in True. I use this as it has a lot of like glimmer in it, and I used to only use this on my cheeks. I mean, I was like maybe 18, 19 when I was using it all over my cheeks. Suggest that unless you like to be a glitter goddess instead of a glowy goddess, because it's like glitter and it's highly pigmented. You need a very small amount, but I like to use this as like a blush topper in very, very small amounts. And I also like to use this on like my natural makeup days. So I really need to use this up. It's ridiculous how long this lasts me. I have one brow product that I for sure want to use up this year, but it's been in my use up before. But I also go through brow pencils like nobody's business. So I don't really have a cap on how many I want to use up. I just want to get some out of my collection this year before repurchasing my tried and trues. So this is the Perfect Brow from Sephora. I'm sure they have different packaging now. I actually know they for sure have different packaging now. It's not as bulky. But I think this is the brunette shades, if I'm not mistaken. This set came with like brow stencils and little brushes and stuff, but I already used up the gel, the brow gel that was in here. You can see I've hit major pan on the lighter of the brunette shades, and you actually can see a little bit of pan in this one as well, because I was using this as to darken up my crease. Believe it or not, these powders aren't bad for shadow as well, but I do like this one, a brow powder like this for natural brow days, so really going to try to pull this back out. Since it's so bulky, I don't have it laying out anywhere, so I just need to make sure to reach for that again. So I'm not going to put eyeshadows in my use up. I rarely do. It's just because it's really not realistic. This is like my go-to everyday neutral little palette here. So you can see this shadow is definitely on its way out. It's hit major pan. That is, I know it is a Makeup Geek. It's in Creme Brulee from Makeup Geek. And I definitely put a dent in a few of these other shadows. That's one I use like literally almost every single day in my crease. I have some liners. I would like to use up eyeliners. Not including liquid liner, because again, I go through those like nobody's business. I'm constantly using up that. But pencil liners, I just don't really use them anymore. And I really need to do a declutter on that as well and just give those away. I never use them. I will use them if I put fake lashes on to line my upper rim. And that is what this little bad boy is going to be for. It's the Marc Jacobs liner in, I don't remember, it's the black. So this is like a retractable liner, and it's literally almost on its way out. So I need to use that up. I've definitely sharpened this one a few times. It's from Urban Decay Bourbon. And then these two I've used, like if you put these next to each other, yeah. These two are going to take a lot more work. So maybe I'll just start lining my upper lashes every day to give more depth. But this is in Demolition. It's like a dark matte brown. And then I have Underground, which is a little bit more like a shimmery bronzy color. So I'm going to really attempt to use my eyeliner. Another shadow I forgot about to mention is Amber Rush from L'Oreal. This is like a pressed shadow, and it's the most beautiful shade of rose gold. If I want a rose gold eye, I'm always going to this. If I have rose gold on my lids and you ask me what it is, it most likely is the L'Oreal Amber Rush shadow. And the reason I'm putting it in my use up, however, is because I like to use my finger to apply it, but it's now gotten to the point where it's harder to do so. And so I want to use it up so that I can feel okay about repurchasing it in the future. But it's a beautiful, beautiful shadow. Okay, I have 4 lip products. I'm not going to include lip glosses or lip balms. Lip balms I use up pretty regularly. Lip glosses, I rarely use them, to be honest, so just not realistic. But I have 4 lipsticks, and I'm sure I might use up a couple more that are in my purse. But this one is from Tarte, and it's their Lip Surgeon's Natural Lip Luster in Glitzy. I will swatch these for you. So it's just a really beautiful neutral, especially on days where I'm just, going to run errands. I don't want a full face. This is my go-to, and they're so hydrating. I love these. The cap is totally messed up though. Then I have a Clinique Pop lip color in Melon Pop number 5. I love, love, love the formula of these lipsticks. I've gone through a few different shades in this collection of colors, but this one, you can see that it's on its way out, and it's so soft that it melts in the summer in my purse, so it gets a little messy when I apply it now, but look at that beautiful, perfect peachy color. Love it. Next one I need to use up because it's probably on its last leg, but I love it, and I actually have it on right now. It's the Maybelline 14-Hour Lipstick in Perpetual Peony, and I mean, I still have a significant amount. This lip color lasts so well on the lips, and it feels so good. And it's like a very blue toned cool pink. And then this one's almost on its way out too, the Revlon Lip Butter in Pink Truffle. That is it rolled all the way up right now, okay? So it's like, I don't even want to use too much for a swatch, but that's what it looks like. Perfect for this time of year. So that one's probably going to be on its way out soon. So that is it for my products I want to use up for 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this and maybe got inspired to do the same. Please join me and like this video if you enjoyed seeing this, if you want me to continue to do, maybe I can do even quarterly updates if you will find that helpful. And I will see you guys again in the next video. Bye.